Hey guys, NamelessJoker90, back to present another Monster Hunter guide. This time, we'll be looking at the Qurupeco. The Qurupeco will be a jump in difficulty for many beginners, as the Qurupeco introduces a few new features to the fight, starting with bouncing. Bouncing will occur when your weapon's attack power isn't high enough to penetrate a monster's defense. Instead of cutting through the monster like normal, you will bounce off of the monster, leaving yourself vulnerable and decreasing your sharpness more than usual. The Qurupeco will also introduce stat changes by reducing your defense and inflicting elemental damage on the hunter. The Qurupeco will take a very large amount of damage to its head, almost twice as much than the other parts of its body. The head can be difficult to hit with some weapons, however, so learning the height range of certain attacks is very important. Knocking the Qurupeco out of the air or tripping it will let you hit its head more easily, or by using traps. The wings and tail have a much higher defense, however, and will often cause bouncing with early weapons. The Qurupeco will take elemental damage from thunder, water, and ice, though ice will do the most out of all of them. Targeting the wings on the Qurupeco will break its flints on the wing tips and give you an extra reward. You can also break the Qurupeco's head, which will grant rewards and cause its songs to take twice as long to complete. The Qurupeco is also unique in that it will change slightly to reflect its mood. If enraged, its tail will have a reddish hue, while if it's exhausted, the tail will be a bright green. The Qurupeco will leave areas by flying, but will only leave from certain spots in those areas. The Peco will limp to these spots before flying when weak. The Qurupeco is an interesting fight. First off, it will fly around. It won't attack very often in the air and usually only takes off to throw off the hunter. When taking off, the Qurupeco will cause wind pressure, which will push the hunter back unless they have the armor skill Negate Wind Low. The Peco will, like all monsters, attack in a circle with its tail. The Qurupeco will also rush the hunter and simply run into it to cause damage. If exhausted, it will trip and fall over when doing this. The Qurupeco may stop short roll running at the hunter and begin to peck rapidly at it. The next few attacks are rather special, as it will be the first time the player needs to deal with debuffs, blights, and elemental damage. The Qurupeco will occasionally spit mucus at the hunter. If hit, the player will have their defense reduced. The Qurupeco has another attack that it telegraphs rather blatantly. It will click together its flints 2 or 3 times, and then hop forward and cause small explosions that cause fire blight and fire damage. Depending on the number of clicks, the Peco will attack either 2 or 3 times. The Qurupeco can also cause an explosion without clicking first, and is easy to get hit by. If exhausted, the Qurupeco will occasionally fail to cause an explosion and cease the attack. The Qurupeco's last abilities are its songs and dances. The Peco can buff itself and all nearby monsters with an attack or defense up, or even a small heal. When buffing, it will hop to the side and back and spread its wings out. If you manage to do enough damage to stop the song, the buff or heal will be transferred to the hunter. The Peco will then run away for a few feet and drop a shiny. The second 2 songs are summons, one for small monsters and the second for large monsters. When summoning small monsters, it will lay its wings down. The Qurupeco will summon anything from Jaggies to Malinxes to Ludroths. The second call is for larger monsters. The Qurupeco will imitate the call of the monster it is summoning, and sweep its head from one side to the other while kicking out its leg. If successful, the Peco will run forward and dance once the monster arrives. The Qurupeco will initially only spawn a Great Jaggy, but can summon anything from a Rathian or Diablos to the Devil Joe. Using Sonic Bombs or Bombs will stun and stop any songs the Peco is attempting. If the monster is summoned, using Dung Bombs can make it leave the area. This sums up the guide on the Qurupeco, and I hope it helps. As always, thanks for watching, and good hunting everyone.